How liquidity pools work. Liquidity pools quietly power almost everything in decentralized finance. Swaps, decentralized exchanges, yield farming. Even systems most users would never think to connect to liquidity. And yet, most people use them without understanding what is actually happening under the hood. They click swap, approve the transaction, and assume the system just magically works. It does not. Today we are breaking down one of the most important mechanisms in DeFi, liquidity pools. Once you understand how they work, decentralized exchanges stop feeling mysterious and start making sense. Let us start with the problem liquidity pools were created to solve. Traditional exchanges rely on order books. Buyers place bids, sellers place asks. Trades only happen when those two sides meet. This works well in centralized systems because everything is fast, cheap, and controlled. But on-chain, order books become slow, expensive, and inefficient. You cannot rely on thousands of users constantly updating bids and asks on-chain. So DeFi needed a different solution. That solution was liquidity pools. At the most basic level, a liquidity pool is a pool of tokens locked inside a smart contract. Instead of trading with another person, you trade against the pool itself. If you want to swap ETH for USDC, you're not waiting for a seller. You are taking ETH out of the pool and putting USDC back in. The pool is always there, always open, always available. But this raises an obvious question. How does the pool decide the price? This is where automated market makers come in. Most liquidity pools use a simple formula to set prices. The most common one is known as the constant product formula. It sounds complex, but the idea is simple. The pool enforces balance automatically. If one asset is removed, the price adjusts automatically to compensate. So when people buy ETH from the pool, ETH becomes scarcer inside the pool. Scarcity pushes the price up. When people sell ETH into the pool, ETH becomes abundant. Abundance pushes the price down. Price is not decided by humans. It is decided by math. And math does not negotiate. Think of a vending machine. A vending machine does not care who you are, what you want, or what you think the price should be. If there are plenty of sodas inside, the price stays low. As sodas get bought and the machine empties, the price rises automatically. No manager steps in. No negotiation happens. The rules were set in advance. Liquidity pools work the same way. As one asset is removed, it becomes more expensive. As it is added back, it becomes cheaper. The system reacts mechanically to supply and demand, without opinion and without mercy. Now, let us talk about where the liquidity comes from. Liquidity does not appear out of nowhere. It comes from users called liquidity providers. These are people who deposit two assets into a pool at the same time. For example, Ethereum and USDC. By doing this, they allow others to trade using their funds. And in return, liquidity providers earn a share of the trading fees. Every swap pays a small fee. Those fees are distributed to the people who supplied liquidity. Without this incentive, liquidity pools would be empty. It turns idle capital into income-producing capital. But liquidity provision is not risk-free. Many beginners have found themselves caught off guard in something called impermanent loss. This happens when the price of the pooled assets changes relative to each other. If Ethereum rises sharply compared to Bitcoin, the pool automatically rebalances. That rebalancing can leave the liquidity provider with fewer Ethereum than they started with. Even if the dollar value increases, it can still lose to doing nothing. It is called impermanent because the loss only locks in when you withdraw. But make no mistake, it is real. Fees can offset it. Sometimes they do. Often they do not. Ignoring impermanent loss is how people lose money while believing they are earning yield. Now let us address a common misconception. Liquidity pools do not guarantee fair prices. They follow formulas, not opinions. In a small pool, a single large trade can violently move the price. This is called slippage. The smaller the pool, the bigger the slippage. That is why large pools like ETH USDC are more stable. Depth matters. Liquidity is not just about availability. It is about resistance to price movement. So why do liquidity pools matter so much? Because they are the foundation of DeFi. Without them, decentralized exchanges cannot function. Yield farming would not exist. Protocols could not price assets autonomously. Liquidity pools replaced order books with math. And that single design choice unlocked an entire financial ecosystem. The system is not magical in any sense. It is simply smart contracts enforcing simple rules at scale. They reward liquidity. They punish imbalance. And they expose ignorance instantly. But with your newfound understanding of their mechanics, DeFi will feel less chaotic and more predictable. If you want more clear and simple explanations like this, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.